Hello, it's Friday, late on the 5th of January, and the endless sideways price action in Bitcoin and ETH and the major cryptos continues while we wait for the ETF decision. I don't know that it's a good thing. I was kind of hoping it would be today. I don't know it's a good thing that we're going to ride it all the way to the deadline and then go, okay, no. There really is a chance, I suppose, that they could say no. I don't see how they can deny it forever, but it may be that they're just not ready. So that's a possibility. We need to be prepared for it either way. One of the things with the volatility the last couple of days I've noticed, I really do think it's because the market really got a little bit too over leveraged. And whenever that happens, let's look at Bitcoin in this sideways range that we're in, when we've had a little nasty false break higher, followed by a little bit of a nasty kind of false break lower that held these daily moving averages pretty well. And so we are still sideways at this big 38 fib level at 43,800 and just over 44,000 in the futures. No bullish pullback. And I really don't, as I said before, I don't think that this is a good place to be over leveraged. I think it's more likely than not that the ETF gets approved, but it's also possible that it doesn't. So we need to be ready either way. Yeah, it's just going to be a bumpy road for the next couple of days until it's resolved. And the deadline for it is Wednesday, and so we'll know by Wednesday. And this is going to be one of those weekends where I don't think there's going to be too much going on because there won't be an announcement over the weekend. So short term, I don't see a trade either way in Bitcoin, and because we're in this sideways range, I kind of feel like, and we're right on the level, honestly, we could go either way. We could from here retest the highs. I still expect we stay in the range or retest the lows. Now, I've said all along, I think if we can break above this level, break higher and then a lower high and keep going, then we could see a pretty decent squeeze. But yeah, I just don't have a setup for that at the moment. Like I think it's risky, and I think most people are positioned for the ETF decision already, and so it's kind of nothing to do until it happens. And we've got the same thing going on here in ETH. We had a false break higher, false break lower. Here we are back in the middle. These are daily moving averages here for ETH. And you can see when we're in an uptrend, we ride these daily moving averages by holding them as support. And when we're in a downtrend, we find resistance from them and continue lower. And here we are in that kind of no man's land in between the two. We're underneath the 20 and above the 50 and going sideways. And we've done that before, and when we break out, we get a move, and when we get underneath, we go lower. It's really indecision and no breakdown, no bearish reversal. It kind of looks like a coiled spring, but I have to say that this could, again, go either way. Now, some alts look a bit better than the others. Let's take a look at some that are making more interesting patterns. See, for me, here this is INJ. Now, if I look at this on the weekly, as you know, I had two big kind of fib projection target levels, 42 and 65. And we're sideways just underneath this 42 level. Are we going to do this big bearish reversal? Is our big upswing over? Or are we potentially in a waveform? We have another swing higher. When I look at the price action that we've done here on the 4-hour, this looks to me like a very nice three-wave correction in a channel. And we've gone back to the top of the channel. If we make a higher low and break out here, break higher, then I would look for a breakout from this channel, then a breakout and hold above this resistance level at 42. And if we can get above it and hold it as support again, I think INJ has more room to the upside. The problem is with these three-wave corrections is they can turn into bigger ones. So this three-wave move that we've made lower, we could then, if the rally or the breakout turns into a false breakout, and if all we see from kind of here, let's draw what I mean here. So here's our first swing higher. If all we do is another three-wave move, then it turns out that we're going to do a bigger 1, 2, 3 before we go up again, and you see that a lot. So we do need to watch how this next leg higher unfolds. We need to get up here and hold above this support and make either a higher, we might even go beyond that and make a higher low to keep going higher. So that's what I'm looking for in INJ. It is really bullish corrective price action at the moment, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily ready to go right yet if this leg just turns into another three-wave rally. And there's quite a few altcoins, decent altcoins, that have made the very similar kind of three-wave pattern that is quite bullish if we can break out from these consolidation patterns. Okay, now I've got a bunch of requests, so let's take a look at them. So the first request we got here is peas. Peas die. Look at this one now. Okay, here's a simple way when you don't have very much price action to go on to measure where your targets are. I do some simple things. I look when I can see 5 waves up, and I look and see if there's a relationship with wave 1, or I look for fib projections level. But some of these, when they just go parabolic, they don't kind of work. And I look and see, do the levels work? This equal measured move was resistance. This 1272 was, we blasted through this 1.618, and again above this 2.618. Now I would normally say in this instance, when we do that, I kind of think we validated. I just want to look on a lower time frame. No reason for this one to stop. In fact, it's accelerating, and I would say probably in P pods we're going to 6.687 next, and if we blast through that, probably 10. Is it going to be the next parabolic one? I don't know. I think for me, always with these, it's always better to buy a pullback like this. So if it stops going up and we are above this 2.618 level, I would like to see a shallow sideways pullback that looks like this. And I would like to see that 4.2 level hold as support. A close back underneath this today could probably see a bigger pullback. So yeah, more upside looks good for peas, but you got to trade this carefully. If you didn't buy this early on, you need either a pullback or you need to be holding on for the ride. You can't just blind buy it when it's this looking like this. So whatever time frame you're on, you kind of need a bit of a pullback towards some support before you. And by support, it may just be moving averages. Here on the 15-minute, look how it's riding these 20 moving average. 3 waves back here, something like that. That would be a good look if it's going to keep going. Okay, let's take a look at SEI. We had Sailor. Let's look at just SEI, the one that's underneath it. Now here, let's start with a weekly chart on this one, because we've done the same thing in terms of projections. I measured this first swing, projected it from here. We're back underneath this kind of 1.65. We're sort of sideways at this 1.618 level. I think that we are going to see a little bit of a pullback here. And when we did this previously, it took us 10 days, 2 weeks, and we pulled back to the daily 20 moving average. And that may mean a little bit further back, maybe to 0.6, or potentially towards these previous highs and back to this daily 20 moving average. Yeah. You see, for the first time, when I come down to the 4-hour, so all the way back from the middle of December, we've been riding these 4-hour moving averages. And here we're underneath it again. So for me, here's our 1.618 level, isn't it? At 0.769. I think if we were to have a little bit of a rally here and find resistance there, I think we're going to be looking for more downside. And so if you've got some, I might have a little bit of a sell. I'd unload a bit there. Watch out for that in SEI. Okay, hello. Let's take a look at this on Max. And this is a similar one, isn't it? In that we're doing a bit of a correction. So here, let's measure the differences. Projection levels here. Here's another one. See how we paused and went. So I'm just going to put regular candles on. See how we paused and went sideways at this 1.618 level, got above it, then found support from it. Now we're paused underneath this 2.618 level. If we can close and hold above 0.207, we've got 0.32 next. But it is looking like we're having a little bit of a pullback on the daily, still holding these daily moving averages. A nice little three-wave pullback here. I'm not saying that this is over yet, but it is one of those levels where if you've been in it all the way up, it might be good to take some profit and wait for it to set up and turn higher again. I would not be surprised if we had another go here after this pretty good looking three-wave correction, but what you want to watch out for is that it doesn't end up just being a three-wave correction that tests us as resistance before we do another one. So you know, if you buy it here, need to make sure that we do get above and hold above that resistance level again, 0.2075 in hello. Yeah, but otherwise correction in an uptrend until it collapses, so which is not doing yet. Okay, my pick tonight to talk about is LDO, Lido Finance. Now, this one is different because we've got this big drop at the beginning. I'm looking at my Binance chart from here, this high to low, and I'm looking at these kind of fib levels, and we did a big 786 retrace, big retrace from here, and here we are at the next upside fib level at 886. Now, I'm going to ignore I think this is just one of those levels we have a pause at. And I actually think that this one has got further to go and is more likely to retest the highs. So I'm going to take away this trend line for now and say why. And the reason is this looks to me like a big three-wave move. So we have a big rally, and this is our three-wave correction, which is what they call a flat. You know, when you have a move and you have a three-way correction and then you carry on, it normally it looks like that. But sometimes it'll go sideways like this and you carry on, and then sometimes it doesn't do that. It even kind of looks like that. And I think that that is a little bit of what we've done here. So Ali, three-wave correction, and then we've continued high. One of the things that makes me think that is if they are pretty equal, which they're not quite equal, but they are, it's that kind of look, right? It's choppy and overlapping and sideways. And so that's why I'm thinking that this is what's gone on here. And so in that case, I think there should be a relationship between this first swing and this swing that we're in here, third swing. And if that's the case, here we are holding above this 61.8 level, and the next upside should be where this swing and this swing are equal, which is at 4.08. So I'm going to say, you know, I'm bearish if we drop back underneath this 3.02 level, and otherwise I think the next upside is 4.08 for LDO. This was a really strong move this week, and a little pullback would be a pretty interesting buy. So I've marked this level 3.04, actually it is. I'm just going to put this on the right. Let's have a look on the lower time frames and see if the market is looking the same thing. And look at this, okay? This really is holding. Now I've got some LDO, and I said to myself, right, if we close underneath 3.04, I'm going to cut it because this looks a little bit double toppy and more like a breakdown. But the fact that we've held this in a three-wave correction points to more upside for me. Now if we failed again at 3.49, yeah, it's not going to be so good. But above it, holding above 3.49, I think we continue to fall, and so I'm not quite out of Lido yet. I think it's got a little bit further to go, and obviously above 4.08 we could see 5, the 1.618 level goes all the way up to, you know, 5.7 and 6. So yeah, I'm still in this one, and that's what I'm looking for. But I will sell it if we close back underneath this 3.049 level and wait for another buy opportunity in LDO. Okay, good luck. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to